Alright farmers, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to have a look at some new mods. Alright, so first up we've got the Stug Buster Pack by Rear Modding, 23 kilobyte download. And this is an added extra to the forage headers. So what I mean by that is, I'll read out the blurb that comes with it. The Stug Buster is a stubble destroying technology integrated into the header of the forage harvester. It is mainly used to tackle the European corn borer, which is one of the most economically important pests of corn, destroying about 4% of the annual crop worldwide. The Stug Buster crushes all corn stubble before they are pushed down by the forage harvester or transporters. The integrated mulcher has both a relatively low power requirement and relatively low weight. So basically, in game, obviously that's what it does in real life. In game, this adds the mulching option when you're doing your forage work. So you got these few here. Obviously, if you're looking at the bottom, they are the base game ones with this extra version of it, with the Stug Buster Pack there written underneath it. Other than that, they are just the standard base game ones. So you get one of these on your front of your forage harvester, and you do a bit of mulching whilst doing a bit of harvesting. So what I've done, I've got one hooked up here. So we'll jump in. We'll start it up. No, I'll start the engine first. We'll start it up there. And we'll get going. Obviously you can see there as well, it's mulching the grass. Because when I tested this out, obviously we'll have a look on the map in a minute. It's taking the corn out of the field, yes. But obviously with corn, this field now requires a ploughing. So we'll do a little bit of grass like that. We then go into the map. You'll see there when it finishes loading up. Well, you'll see on the right hand side anyway. There we are. So you've got the purple section is the mulched area, and obviously the red that it needs ploughing. So if it didn't need ploughing, if you've got that turned off, or you've already ploughed on a previous harvest, obviously that would just be all purple for you. So that's going to save you a job, and also that's going to give you a bonus when you come to your next harvesting. Excellent. Right, next we've got the Lizard MT. This is by Caster DS Agri Service, 13.83 megabyte on the download, and it's these two tankers here. Now these are going to do milk and water for you. The difference between the two is one will go up to 24,000 litres and the other one will go up to 28,000 litres. Options are the same on both of them. So you've got your wheel brands, the usual shenanigans on the go there. You then got the design. You can have with no label on the side. You can have the German Milch, the English Milk, the French Lait, and then no label at all. Then you can change the low capacity. So it starts off at 14,000 litres, 18, 24, and then back to 14. And the main colour, we'll change that to green. The design colour, we'll change that to red. Just those bit. And then the rim colour obviously changes the rims. So there we are. Obviously it starts off at 24.5 grand. So adding the extras has took it up to nearly 30 grand. But if you want to do it, yeah, it's alright. At least you've got some milk to sell off. You've got some water to put in your greenhouses or your animal pastures. Very nice indeed. And you'll find them under the animal section. Right, next up we got the Coverland Accord DL pack. This is by Dilago. I hope I pronounced that correctly. 9.62 megabyte on the download, and it's these four seeders here. So in the seeder menu, and they're going to do your usual seeding crop. So we've got a 3 meter working width on all three. Got a working speed of 7 mile an hour on the Accords, and then 9 mile an hour on the Coverland. Obviously it is just a seeder, so there's no fertilizing options at all. All take 60 horsepower from your tractor, and all have got a seed tank from 750 litres to 1250. Right, so first up we're going to this one. You got the capacity 750 there, then 1,000, 1,250. Then you got the wheel brands, usual shenanigans on the go. But decals you can have new or used. Then the mechanism cover, you'll see it in the middle. It's going to cover over those little gears, if you can see them, like that. And then disc markers, no or yes. Change the main colour to any of those three red. Going to change the main frame, well, body, tank, whatever you want to call it. And then the design colour will change the main frame. And then rim colour obviously changes the rim colour. So the options are going to be pretty much the same on all of them. You pick whichever one you want to go for. Obviously I don't know what the difference between these two are. It's exactly the same. So why is one 8 grand and one 7 grand? Maybe it's a newer version. Then the same with these two. There's a grand difference, but they're exactly the same. Who knows? Other than that, you know, it's not exactly a massive seeder, 3 meter working width, but it only requires 60 horsepower tractor. So if you've got some small fields on the go, enclosed fields, this could be very nice indeed. Right, next up we've got the John Deere 1775 NT 2022 version. This is by JHHG Modding, 36.25 megabyte on the download, and obviously it's a planter. Now you can see there that we've already got the 1775 NT in the game, so this is the newer version. But I will say a but as well. This has got a 6,852 litre tank on, and it does fertilising. So you get 2 jobs done at the same time. They both got the same working width, 17.8, and they both got the same working speed at 9 mile an hour. But obviously the newer one has got a bigger tank on it. Right, so we're going there. The options that you've got, GPS configurations, no or yes. We'll put that little stalk on the top. Obviously, if you're on console like me, the GPS isn't a thing, so that's just a visual aid. And then the next option you've got is factory mounted set for liquid fertilizer. So you can have it yes, it's going to cost you 5 grand, or you can have it no. Now that doesn't say whether that's going to take off the fertilizing tank or not. Drop it in the comments below if it does. That's a bit of a strange one. That being said, I do like the base game one, so if this one comes with a bigger tank on it, that's going to be even better. Excellent. Right, next up we've got the John Deere ARX 2020. This is by Sid Modding, 42.06 megabyte on the download, and it's these 3 tractors here. So you've got the ARX, the ART, and then the 8R. So if we go into here, so this starts off with 357 horsepower engine, 24 mile an hour top speed. So the options you've got there, factory mounted set for liquid fertilizer. So you either have standard, exact rate row crop, that's a mouthful to say, then exact rate heavy duty, and then back to standard. So that obviously puts the axles out a bit further. Then we've got extra lights, no or yes, put them on the front. Triangle, we have no or yes, it goes in the middle just under the back window. Then the configuration, we've got 3 point, this is around the front, or front weight, 500 kilo front weight. Then for some strange reason it goes down to 300, then up to 800. That's a bit random, that 500 and 300 is the wrong way around. And then 1300, 1800, and then back to 3 point. That's on the front, that is. And then engine setup, 357 to start, and 388, 420, 458, then back to 357. Then the track setup, you've got EU as standard, EU 3 meter, US, US 2, US 3, and then back to EU. And then the main colour will change or give it a bit of a tint to the windows. So a bit of sun protection when you're out in the field. So that's the ARX. Now the options are all pretty similar. Obviously this one's got front weight standard, 300, 800, 13, 18. Triangle on the back again. And then the design EU, US puts the stalks out the side and the ladder. And back to EU. And then it's got 357, 388, 420, 458, and then back 363. Put my teeth in. 357. So pretty much the same engine options. Then track setup. You got standard 2, changes the design of the track. Standard 3, 2.6 meter, 2.6 meter 2, 2.6 meter 3, 3 meter, 3 meter 2, 3 meter 3, then back to standard. Then again, change the main colour, puts a tint on the windows. That's the ART. And then we've got the Series 8R. There's lots of different variations on this one where the wheel brands and wheel setup comes in. So cycle through, see which ones you want to go for, because there's loads, absolutely loads of different versions. And then on the design, we've got EU, US puts the ladder and the stalks out again, and back to EU. Fenders, we've got no or yes, yes 2, then back to no. So we've got none, rear fenders, front fenders, or nothing. Triangle again on the back just below the window, then round to the front again. So we've got configuration 3-point, it's exactly the same as the other one. Front weight 500, down to 300, up to 800. They need to swap those around, maybe it come in an update, who knows. And 1300, 1800, and then back to 3-point. And then the engine's slightly different on this. So this starts off at 315 horsepower. Then we've got 345, 375, 405, 445, and then back to 315. Then again, the blue changes the tint on the windows. So that's those. You know, these have been a firm favourite in the game for a while. Obviously, the 8R series, especially the ARX with the tracks, they're all right. They are very nice indeed. Excellent. Right, so up next is something to go with the John Deere ARX. This is the integrated exact rate ARX tank. 45 grand to buy, and it's got 3,785 litres on it. So we'll go into there. It's no options, it comes as it is. This is for doing your herbicide spray. So obviously you'll pull your tractor in there, and then it'll hook up, and away you go. Obviously you're going to have a sprayer on the back anyway. This is just supplementary tanks to help you out rather than having to keep going back to your farm or the shop. There is a word of warning with this. When I first bought this John Deere, the ARX, I had the standard axles. What it actually needs to attach to this is the spaced out version, the 2 meter, is it, or the 3 meter one? Otherwise it's not wide enough, you can't get the tanks on. So just bear that in mind. So we'll pull forward, and you'll get the trigger pop up like so. Hook it on. There we are. So you've got the tanks on the side there, and away you go. Obviously put your sprayer on the back, do your herbicide, and even do fertilizer as well. Excellent, very nice indeed. Right, now the last one we got for today is the JCB Teletrack by Ross & Mods, 7.02 megabyte on the download, and obviously you're going to find it in the forklift trucks. So it's 48 grand to buy. There you are, 62 horsepower, and it will have a top speed of 12 mile an hour. So the only options you've got there is to change the main colour. We'll go for a blue. We'll change the main colour, obviously, and then the rim colour. Change the rims, like so. It's your only options. Excellent. Right. Right then, let's have a look at some options. So LB and right stick left and right. Tilts your implement on the front. LB and right stick up and down, obviously raises and lowers. RB and right stick up and down moves the boom in and out. And then LB and RB together with the right stick left and right opens the door for you. Very nice indeed. Right, let's get cracking. A bit of a toot. Excellent. Obviously if you've got some small yard work on the go, very nice indeed. I like that. Very nice. Now that's the last one for today. Drop it in the comments below which one's your favourite, which one you're thinking of using. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, it's muchly appreciated. But for me, that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next one.